What's up you guys, Charles here and welcome back to the channel. So if you're a teenager and you're already looking into how to save money, then it's really good because you're already getting into really good habits. Now if you've clicked on the video, I'm assuming you're under 18, but even if you're 18 and 19, the same general rules usually apply. Now the first step, which is maybe the most obvious or maybe not, is to open a savings account. You see, in a savings account, your money doesn't just sit there and lose value, because if you want to learn something new, your money loses around 2% of its value every year because of something that's called inflation, which is basically your money, you're losing value. But in a savings account, the interest you have on all the money you have in there is normally around the same rate as inflation, although sometimes it's a bit less. Now if you're under the age of 18, then you'll very likely need your parents to open the account for you. But as long as you're on good terms with your parents, then that should be pretty straightforward. But of course, don't open any account. If your parents already know which savings accounts are the best, then follow their advice and open that one. But a quick Google search will normally tell you which are the best savings account to open in the UK. And as a guideline, you want to go with the one with the highest interest rate and of course one with no fees. Now the second step is of course to use your savings account, because there's no point opening one and not putting your money in. So any cash you have lying around the house or that is yours, instead of stashing it under your mattress, then you go to your savings account and either deposit it, or if you make money online and have it on an online bank account, then transfer it to your savings account. It's already a good habit to have, to know how the banking system works and how your bank account works. But if you can't do it online, then of course just go to the local bank and deposit it. Now the third point, which is probably very obvious, but is you need to start earning more if you want to save more, because the more you earn, the more you can save. So some ways of doing this as a teenager is doing some chores around the house. I'm sure if you speak to your parents, then you can mow the lawn or something for £5, which is what I used to do when I was younger, or start a car wash in your street and go ring on the neighbours' bells. Often people are more likely to pay more and just offer jobs to younger people than older people, so take advantage of that, and you really have nothing to lose by just going around and ringing doorbells and asking whether they want their car to be cleaned, and make sure to set a normal price. Now the fourth thing to do is set goals for yourself. Because it's a lot easier to have a goal that you want to achieve for how much you want to save, to then achieve that, than just randomly try save here and there. Because although that's good and you will get to the goal at some point, when you have that goal in mind, you know where you need to work more, where you need to save more, and you'll inevitably get there a lot faster than if you don't have that goal in mind. So depending on what you're saving for, whether it's to invest, whether it's to go on a trip with your friends, then try estimate how much that will cost and how much you need to save up to do so. And don't just set yourself that monetary goal, try set yourself a goal to save for the week or the month, preferably the week, so that you can hold yourself to it. Now the fifth thing to do is to make a budget, because as long as you've got your goal in mind and you know where you're spending money, you'll know whether you're able to cut down in those sectors. So by seeing exactly what you're spending and what you're getting, you know exactly where you can save. And with a budget and a goal, you'll get there twice as fast than any other way. Now the sixth thing you need to do is of course stick to that budget. The hardest thing to do when setting a budget is then sticking to it, not actually making it. And this is true whether you're 13 or you're 66. And even if you don't want to do it because you already have enough money to save up quickly and you think you can do it without a budget, it's a really good habit of getting into, because you'll need to budget inevitably in the future when you hit adulthood and just forever really. So getting into it young, then you'll be able to stick to your budget even better in the future, and you'll be way ahead of the game. Now the seventh thing you need to know is to stick to your budget. You can either use spreadsheets on Excel, or there are quite a few budgeting apps and ready-made softwares online that are free to access to set your budget. Now the eighth thing is to look at all your expenses and see if you can save there or not, because any way you can save, depending on how fast you want to save up or not, and if you need to meet those goals, then you want to look at your expenses and see, am I spending too much on this, or am I spending too little, or do I need to increase that? And if you need to increase that, then try to look hard somewhere else, somewhere you can decrease it to keep the savings at least the same. But if there's nothing you need to spend more on, then of course look at the places where you're spending too much on and don't need to spend that much, decrease those, and then of course your savings goes up. Now the last thing I'd say you'd probably want to do is to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. No, but honestly, the final thing you want to do is to reward yourself for meeting your goals. Whether that's weekly or monthly, preferably monthly, because depending on what rewarding yourself is, then it might cost a bit of money, but it's positive reinforcement and it keeps you motivated to achieve that goal that you want to save up for. And it's a good way of keeping morale. Now, if you've gained any value from this video, I would really appreciate it if you did smash that like button. It really helps me and the channel reach more people thanks to the YouTube algorithm. And if you like my content and want to see more in the future, then of course smash that subscribe button too. And if you've got any questions, then leave them in the comments down below. I try to answer all of them and as fast as I can. Thanks for your time and see you next time.